Welcome to Just a Minute on XbarS charts. An XbarS chart is useful when your data has two features. First, if your data is continuous, for example when you are measuring things like height or time, and second, when more than one measurement is collected in each time period, so you'll be plotting a mean or average instead of the total or sum. For example, if a ward is interested in reducing the length of time patients are in seclusion, then they might start to record how long each patient spends there. The total number of patients would probably vary week by week. It might be 2 in the first week and 4 the next. The data that is collected in each time period is known as a subgroup. Using an XbarS chart, you can track the mean number of minutes each subgroup of patients spends in seclusion each week. This will allow you to test out change ideas and see whether they make an impact on reducing the average length of time spent in seclusion. So how do you make an XbarS chart? On the QI toolkit, find the tab named XbarS. You will see columns and rows on the left where you can record your data, and on the right you will see a blank XbarS chart. Using the example of a ward that is aiming to reduce the average time that patients spend in seclusion each week, I'll show you how you can record your data and make an XbarS chart. First, we are going to enter the weekly dates in the column headed Date. You can see that these dates immediately show along the x-axis of our chart. Next, we are going to enter our data. The ward records that in the first week of their project, 2 patients were put in seclusion. Therefore, they enter the number of minutes the first patient was in seclusion for in the column headed Subgroup 1, like this, and the number of minutes the second patient was in seclusion for in the column headed Subgroup 2, like this. In the second week, the ward records that 5 patients were put in seclusion. Therefore, the ward enters the number of minutes that each patient spent in seclusion in the subgroup columns. For each week, the ward will add the number of minutes in seclusion for between 0 and 100 patients. As the data is entered, the QI toolkit populates the XbarS chart, which looks very similar to other SPC charts. The x-axis shows a regular time period and the y-axis shows the mean of the subgroup. Just like the other SPC charts, there is a yellow line on the chart which shows the mean of all of the data points, or of the baseline data and phase data if this has been programmed. However, unlike some SPC charts, the upper and lower control limits can vary every week, and if they do, the control limits will move up and down in each time period rather than remaining level. This is the same as with P-charts, and in both cases is because the number of data points being measured or the size of the subgroup can vary in each time period. In general, the closer the control limits are to each other, the larger the size of the subgroup, and the further apart the control limits are from each other, the smaller the size of the subgroup. If you'd like to learn more about SPC charts, please do get in touch with the QI team.